What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory, and today in the stock market we did see a mixed bag with the Dow Jones closing at brand new all-time highs and the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 inching down just a little bit. What does this mean for the stock market looking forward? First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so on the SPY ETF, the price action did go down negative 0.09%, so we're relatively flat on the day for the S&P 500. You could see that at one point intraday, we did gap up over my price target at 393. The price action still closing over top of the 5 EMA, and we still have a bull trend with all of the moving averages still stacked to the bull side. So remember, if we do break and close over 393, I did upgrade the SPY price target to a new price target up here at 404. Now we will need a couple days closing over 393 to confirm that we are heading to 404. But as you can tell from today's price action, we're definitely looking like we're going to have no trouble blasting through 393. Now all of this is subject to change if we start to see price action closes back below the 5 EMA. But right now you can tell from this trend and you can tell from the price action that we're still in a very bullish market, so we still want to expect to see the price action continue to go higher. If we do start to see selling, watch the support levels below at the 5 EMA, which is right around 391, the 20 simple moving average down here at 384, and then the strong support level down at 381. If we do start closing below the 20 simple moving average though, it is likely that we are going to close the gap at 377, and you can also see that the 50 EMA is also coming up into the range of that gap around 377. Now, I'm not expecting to see a sell-off that's going to bring us down to 377, and in order to do that, we would need to see some bearish trending, so we would need to see the 5 EMA start looking like it wants to cross below the 13 EMA. However, those are support levels that you need to pay attention to if you do start to see selling in this market. But as long as we see this bull trend with the bullish price action, continue to watch these price targets at 393 and then up here at 404 if we can break and close over that level. On the Nasdaq 100 triple Qs, we also did hit my price target at 338, even though we did close lower for the day. On the triple Qs, we did go down about negative 0.27%, and we did find support on top of that 5 EMA, and we did bounce and close higher for the day. Just like with the S&P 500, you can see that we do have very strong bullish trending. So it does look like we're going to continue to trend higher towards that price target at 338 and possibly even break and close over it. The next price target I want you to watch on the triple Qs is up here at 342 if we do break and close over 338. Strong support levels should be the 20 simple moving average at 327. We will have another support level just below there at 326. And then of course we do have the gap close at 323. Remember, I don't expect to see that gap close until we see a correction, which means the 5 EMA would start to negatively slope and cross down below the 13 EMA. So I still think we do have more upside in this market before we see another correction, but you want to be prepared for anything in this market as we continue to head to new all-time highs. Continue to position yourself defensively and don't be afraid to have some cash just in case we do start to see some selling. You can always put that cash to work at lower prices. On the Dow Jones, we did close at a brand new all-time high today, and we did have a positive day going up 0.17%. So the Dow did outperform the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 today, and you could see that we also closed above the 5 EMA with a very strong bull trend. Ever since we broke above this price target on the Dow of 312, you can see that we've been hanging above that level, and the next price target on the Dow Jones ETF is up here at 327. So from today's close to that price target, we still have about 3.7% upside. So is the Dow Jones now going to outperform the S&P 500 and the tech sector? Only time will tell, but as you can tell, the Dow has a lot of catching up to do, and it's still significantly far away from its price targets. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 have already hit many of their price targets, and the Dow Jones is only on price target number 2. So watch to see if we're going to see a shift into the industrial sector, and let's see if the Dow Jones is going to start outperforming the other indices. On the ARK ETF, we did come very close to my price target at 160, but we never quite got there. We did trigger some selling and we did close down negative 0.93% today, but we still have a closing price action over the 5 EMA with a strong bull trend. So you can see all across the indices and the ARK ETFs that we still have bullish price action with bullish trending. So continue to watch these upside price targets, and the one I want you to watch on ARK is still up here at 160. Support levels are going to be the 20 simple moving average at 147, and then we do have a gap close support level down here at 142. On the VIX, which is our fear indicator, we did go up 7.46% today, but that's completely normal on a day that we see the S&P 500 closing lower. At one point, the S&P 500 and the VIX were both up, and that was a sign that we were likely going to see some volatile selling going into the close. You can see the VIX is still struggling to break through resistance, which is now 21.5, but we did bounce off of support at 20. So the VIX is still showing signs of volatility, and we would need to see the VIX close below 20 to show that we're likely going to continue to go up to new all-time highs. If the VIX does start heading back higher, that will mean that volatility is coming back into this market and that we could see a correction. So watch the VIX levels at 21.5, because if we start closing over there, we could see selling and volatility. And then watch the VIX levels below 20, where we should see less fear and more buying, which will bring us to new all-time highs. One quick thing to note about the 10-year Treasury notes is that we did see them going up 8.25% today, and we're now up at 1.3%. This is not necessarily very bullish for the stock market, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the Fed does about these rising rates. So watch the TNX, which is closing up at 1.3 today, because if it continues to go higher, that could start to stress equities and we could see more selling in stocks. On the US dollar, we did go up 0.13% today, but as you can tell from this, we're still holding up below resistance at 90.6, and we're still in a bear trend. If the dollar continues to weaken, watch the support level down here at $89, and just remember that a weak dollar typically means a strong stock market. So we continue to see weakness in the dollar, which means we're likely to continue to see the stock market continue to head higher. On gold, we saw more selling today, and we're trading right on top of support at this 1793 level, which is the last level that we did bounce off of. If we break below this level, look for gold to head back down to 1776. The upside price target now on gold is still going to be up here at 1826. On silver, we did close lower right on top of the 5 EMA, and we did find resistance at that 27.5 level. We're still in a bull trend, so continue to watch that 27.5 level, and if we do break and close over that level, we're likely heading back up to $29. On Bitcoin, we still see the price action holding up over top of the 5 EMA, and we still have this very strong bull trend. Bitcoin looks like it's going to have no trouble getting to the price target above at $54,710. So continue to watch that price target and get ready to see Bitcoin possibly go into a sell-off or a correction once we meet this price target. Typically, Bitcoin likes 5,000 even numbers, so possibly look for that to extend to 55,000. On Amazon stock, we did go down negative 0.27% today, but we're still holding up above this 50 EMA. This support level at 3,200 is going to be very critical for Amazon stock, and as you can see, we are starting to develop some bearish trending. So Amazon really needs to start closing back above its 20 simple moving average, which is now getting close to around 3,300, and there is a resistance level above at 3,320. So if Amazon can break above 3,320, it's likely heading back up to the price target at 3,400. However, if we do start breaking down and closing below the 50 EMA, that will be a bearish sign for Amazon, and it could head all the way back down to the 3,000 level. On Apple stock, we also saw selling today, and we did go down negative 1.61%. At this point, it looks like Apple is coming back down to retest the 50 EMA, which is right around $131. You can see we're developing some bearish trending in the short term, and there is a resistance level now above at 136, which is the previous price target. So look for Apple to try to bounce off of the 50 EMA as support and possibly start trending back up towards 136. On the financial sector, we continue to see strong signs of bullishness, going up 1.71%, closing well above the 5 EMA with a very strong bull trend. On the industrials, we're relatively flat today, but the price action is still over the 5 EMA, and we still have a very strong bull trend for the industrial sector. On the healthcare sector, we did go down about negative 1%, but we're holding right up on top of that 13 EMA, and you can see that we do have some short-term bull trending developing. So right now, the price action on the healthcare sector is going to be key to see if we bounce off this level or continue to go back down towards support at the 50 EMA. So going back to the S&P 500, you can definitely see that we had a weak day in the tech sector, but the industrials and the financials are still looking very strong. The healthcare sector is still trying to figure out which direction it wants to go, and overall we still see a relatively low VIX, which is low fear, and a weakening dollar. So overall, the picture of the market is still bullish, even though we possibly could be reaching a critical top very soon as we continue to head towards these price targets. So on SPY, continue to watch this level at 393, and if we continue to break and close over that level, it is likely that we are going to head up to 404. So those are the critical price targets I want you to pay attention to, and if we do start to see selling, watch these support levels down around the 20 simple moving average at 384. This market is still very bullish, and if we do see selling, it is likely that buyers will step in and buy the dip. However, be prepared for any market conditions and you will never be disappointed. Also, don't forget about the Stocks Channel Discord if you're looking for a disciplined and profitable trading community. You can find out how to join the Discord server by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So next up, let's take a look at the Stocks Channel Hot Stocks. Welcome to Hot Stocks. First up, let's take a look at Tesla stock, and we did see Tesla getting a little bit routed today, going down negative 2.44%. Now, the one thing about Tesla is I did have it finishing a fifth wave, and each and every day that goes by, it's looking more and more like it finally did hit a top. Today, we see Tesla holding up around the support level at 793, which was also one of these previous price targets that we had around 792. As you can tell, the 50 EMA is not that far away, which is down here around $750. So if we do break down below the 790 level, we're likely going to get to 750 in a flash. However, Tesla is still holding up around the support level, which goes back to January 29th, where we did see a bounce. You can see Tesla is somewhat of a consolidation wedge right now, and it is forming lower highs with a flat bottom support level around 793. So if Tesla can bounce and find support off of these levels, it's still possible we do start heading back towards 906, but that won't be without a lot of resistance on the way. There's going to be resistance around 840, 859, and then we should have little resistance on the way to 906. Tesla could still break over 906 in that event that it does get there and start heading up to the 960s. However, right now, let's worry about what's going on in front of us, and Tesla is currently struggling around a support level. So if you're in Tesla for the long haul, you probably just want to hold on and hold tight here. But if you are trading Tesla and we do start to break down below the 790s, be prepared for a drop to 750 and possibly even all the way back into the high 600s. You can see the 5 EMA did cross down below the 13 EMA, and the 20 simple moving average is definitely rolling over and starting to negatively slope. These are not signs of a bull market, which means Tesla is likely going into a correction and or a bear market unless it can start bouncing off of these support levels and heading higher soon. On NIO stock, we did go down about negative 1% today, but we're still holding up above the 13 EMA and the 20 simple moving average. NIO stock looks a lot more bullish than Tesla stock because we still have a bull trend and we're holding up above the positive sloping 20 simple moving average. Now, NIO still needs to break resistance right around the $60 range, and we still need to try to retest that resistance level at 65 to see if we can break and close and start heading higher. Don't forget, I also have NIO ending a fifth wave, so we're likely going to see the top in this stock in the very near future, which means you don't want to get too aggressive on a stock that's nearing a critical top. That doesn't mean the stock can't go higher, it just means it's going to need a consolidation and a cool off before it can continue to trend higher. Don't forget that NIO stock is bearish below 55, and the 50 EMA is actually starting to come up into that level now, and we currently see the 50 EMA around $54. So continue to watch the levels on NIO above at 61 and 65, and of course the support level down below, which is going to be key around $55. Next up is Palantir stock, and we saw Palantir getting absolutely destroyed today, going down negative 12.75%. Now this is mostly due to the earnings that we did have this morning, and that's why it's usually a gamble when you're holding a stock through earnings. You never know exactly how the news is going to be digested by the buyers and by the sellers, and typically speaking, once a trend starts after an earnings report, it's hard to slow down. So who knows if this selling in Palantir is going to continue, or if we're going to find support and start bouncing off of this 50 EMA. There was a support level around 29 that we blasted right through like it wasn't even there, and we went straight down to the 50 EMA, which is right around $1 lower at 28. So if Palantir doesn't start bouncing off of this 50 EMA, watch the next support level, which is down here around $25.60. As far as resistance levels go, we now have to blast through the old found support, which is now at $31. There's going to be all of these moving averages that we also have to break through, and then of course this resistance trend line right around $34. The previous price targets are still 36 and 44, but there's a lot of work for Palantir to do to start breaking back above these resistance levels and start getting back into a bullish trend. So watch the support levels that we're currently trading on, which is $28, and the support below at $25.60. And if those levels don't hold up, Palantir is likely going into a bear market and will continue to trend much lower. Next up is Snow stock, and we did see Snow also going down negative 1.64%. But the good news with Snow is that we still have a bull trend and we're still holding up above the 20 simple moving average for support. Right now on Snow, we need to try to break back above this 304 level, and we will have resistance at 325, and then of course the price target at 350. So I'm still bullish on Snow, and it looks like this consolidation could be coming to an end soon, which means you're running out of time if you're still trying to get into this stock before the run to 350. Now, if we do start breaking and closing below the 20 simple moving average, this stock won't look as bullish anymore, and it means we could go back down and retest support down around 266. But right now we're still looking bullish, and it looks like the stock is getting ready for another leg higher. Next up is Facebook stock, which we were covering last week, so we'll just go ahead and keep covering it. And we did see Facebook going up 1.28% today. At one point, we got very close to the price target number 1 at 277, and we did have a high of the day around 276.6. Now, that was a good time to take profits. If you did, you want to try to get back in around the support level around 272 to 273. You can see we are building up some bullish momentum, and Facebook is looking like it wants to make another crack at 277 and start heading back up to the resistance trend line around 281. If we can break and close over 281, it's likely that we're going to get back up to 287. Also watch the upper Bollinger Band, which is right around that resistance level, so it's not likely Facebook is going to blast right through 281 without a lot of resistance on the way there. But as you can tell, the trend is looking very bullish, and of course the price action is now closing over that resistance level that we had around 273. So Facebook's looking really good, and it could easily be a hot stock, even though it did start out as just a bonus stock. So don't forget, if you want more hot stocks on the ground level daily, consider checking out the Stocks Channel Discord. You can find out how to join the Discord server by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck out there. I hope you're crushing this market and making a ton of money. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.